Good afternoon, Saitlanders. How are you? We hope that you're well. I'm smiling because I'm going to read you something from a page, and part of the features of this page, of this website, is that in the one corner it has somebody interviewing somebody else. And the guy in question is not necessarily my favorite, the interviewer, my favorite comedian, but he is famous for his relationship with my favorite comedian, who was, until he passed away recently, Norm Macdonald. That's just a by-the-by anecdote. Let's get to the point of this video. You know, it's very nice to be right sometimes. Conceit, vanity, pride, these things will catch up to you and you will be humiliated. So we have to be wary of them. But then again, sometimes being accurate or being correct or being reliable is important, because it allows you feel that you're doing okay, you know. And 2 years ago, we began talking about certain economic matters. And I remember almost immediately that we spoke about, we made some video. Some guy wrote in a long email, lambasting me, or lambasting as most people pronounce it these days. And then sometime after that, a Saitlanders leader sent a message to me to say that he knew more than I knew. Somebody else sent an email, and over time the things that we've claimed have either turned out to be correct or have turned out to be, by any objective standard, more likely than they were at the time. So it's looking as if they're going to turn out to be correct. And that's not because I'm a guru. I don't have an economics degree. I don't have any degree. I went to university and didn't like it at all and left. But it's because we do diligent and honest research. We do an enormous amount of research, really a lot. Research is one of those things whose value is questionable, because you could do a month's worth of research to really just discover 5 or 6 or 7 new and interesting things. And of what value are they, you know? Especially those things that people might be bound to discover for themselves anyway. Nevertheless, we do a hang of a lot of research. We do it diligently and we do it honestly. So we live with the answers that we get, even when they don't suit us. And over the past couple of years, I think we have been pretty okay with some of the things that we've said, but some of them, as I say, have been controversial. One of them pertained to Bitcoin. I held some conversations about 2 years ago in which I said to people, Bitcoin will be legislated, it just will. And one person was mightily offended by that. In most cases, we agreed to disagree. You know, let's say 4 other people and myself, roughly. But one guy was a little bit bitter. And I said to him that, yeah, we just left it at that. But my point was, there's no way that the governments of the world are going to allow any currency system or any money type or any medium of exchange to undermine their sovereign fiat currencies. It just won't happen. You don't have to. I mean, one guy made the point to me, but Satoshi Nakamoto, the guy who I mean, who can believe this stuff? I don't know. But people believe it. People believe it was invented by a guy called Satoshi Nakamoto that nobody's ever been able to find. It's like believing that, I don't know, a bat in a fish market, honestly. But now here's something that vindicates what we've been talking about for a long time. This is an article on RT, published on the 19th of November, 4 days ago. Hillary Clinton reveals dark potential of crypto. Right, so we've got somebody talking to us whose husband said she is a witch in literal terms, and her coven is in Los Angeles. A witch. A true witch is going to teach us here. Cryptocurrencies have the potential to weaken and destabilize entire nations over time, says Hillary Clinton, former US Secretary of State and Democrat presidential candidate. Clinton, who was addressing a panel on Friday at the Bloomberg New Economy Forum in Singapore, called for a joint effort by nation states to monitor the rise of the asset class. She warned that cryptocurrencies could possibly undermine existing fiat currencies and the US dollar's role of being the reserve currency. What Saitlanders said 2 years ago, and in fact prior to that. In fact, we mentioned this in late 2017 or early 2018. This came up in a conversation between Mr. Miller, me, and Ernst van den Berg. Hopefully they'll remember it. One more area that I hope nation states start paying greater attention to is the rise of cryptocurrency. Because what looks like a very interesting and somewhat exotic effort to literally mine, not just mine, literally mine, new coins in order to trade with them, has the potential for undermining currencies, for undermining the role of the dollar as the reserve currency, for destabilizing nations, perhaps starting with small ones, but going much larger. Clinton's comments come amid news of a controversial crypto tax reporting requirement. So a requirement to report crypto tax owing, presumably. That was part of the $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill signed into law by US President Joe Biden on Monday. According to the bill, from 2023, brokers will need to disclose customers' names, addresses, phone numbers, capital gains, and losses to the Internal Revenue Service. Entities receiving crypto payments worth more than $10,000 will have to reveal the sender's identity to the government. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, it is not going to stop there. We said this would happen. We said this would happen. And people said we were talking rubbish and we didn't know what we were talking about. And that there was no possible way of monitoring Bitcoin, and there was no way of, controlling it, governing it. We said the powers of the world will never leave it at that. If you think you've outwitted the Rothschilds, guys, we are in much deeper trouble than many people are able to recognize. We are being enveloped by a net. And there is no such thing as we've figured out a way to outwit the devil and al sy trawante. We've all got to start getting used to the idea that right now we're on the back foot and the odds are against us. And almost certainly our only real hope lies in the Christ. Fleshly hope, there is very little of. Anyway, I might produce another video on another economic development that endorses things that we've been predicting for a long time or forecasting for a long time, not by virtue of being ever so clever, not by virtue of being gurus, but because Saidlanders researches diligently so that we can remain on the cutting edge of the knowledge required for the purposes of the conservative Caucasian Christian cause in the 21st century. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, guys. Take very good care of yourselves, and may our Lord bless and protect you in the profoundly difficult times which we appear now to be entering. Thank you very much. Goodbye and God bless you.